partir de Contrato com Deus, Eisner começa a inserir elementos pessoais em sua narrativa. Isso acrescentava às histórias uma dramaticidade ainda maior.
I didn't know, for example, when I first read Contract with God, when Fermi Hirsch, the character, is walking in the rain and he has just buried his daughter, that Will had had a daughter who had died as a teenager. After I found that out and I reread that story, it brought tears to my eyes because I felt the pain, and the rain in the story to me was tears, torrents of tears. He chose to do something that was semi-autobiographical, that spoke from the heart, that spoke about something as serious as the death of a child and making a contract with God, superintendent molesting a child. These were subjects, even in underground comics, nobody was doing anything quite like this. It was very moving, and the format was exciting.
It was a collection of short stories around a theme. One of them specifically, The Super, I think. That story had a kind of dramatic structure that was bringing something new into the equation for me of what was possible in comics. It was kind of interesting to see.
Contrato com Deus chega ao Brasil e é recebido como um inesperado presente, até pelos mais antigos fãs.
A primeira novela, graphic novel dele, O Contrato com Deus, primeiro eu levei um susto e fiquei agradavelmente surpreso, né? Era uma nova maneira de ler, ver o Will Eisner. E realmente, a partir dali, eu notei que nascia um novo escritor. E era cumulativo, era um Eisner em cima do outro.
Ele evoluiu, em geral, a maturidade de um artista que é com 40 anos, ele chegou com 60, 70 anos, quando ninguém esperava mais nada dele.
Ele resolveu fazer um romance todinho ilustrado. Seria como uma pequena novela de Turgenev, por exemplo, mas feita em histórias em quadrinhos.
A Kitchen Sink Press começa a republicar as histórias do herói mascarado de Eisner no Spirit Magazine. Will aproveita para completar as revistas com uma nova obra serializada, Life on Another Planet, ou O Sinal do Espaço.
O que eu fiz, como você me falou, eu vou me tornar um grande homem, certo?
A busca da vida em outros planetas se transforma em uma trama de espionagem, guerra fria, corrida espacial, interesses econômicos escusos, seitas apocalípticas e terríveis experiências genéticas. Mas afinal, o que é uma novela gráfica? Em que ela é diferente de uma história em quadrinhos comum?
It's a book-length work that combines words and pictures to tell a serious story, not necessarily humorless, but serious for adult readers.
It's like the difference maybe between a short story and a novel in fiction. In the short story, you compress a lot of things, and it can be a very interesting thing, but you can't talk about the larger sweep of history, the larger human emotions.
What it has done is it's broken the limits on pages. It's broken the limit on the size, the color. It allowed professionals to throw away all the old rules, and it's never been the same since.
A arte de Will Eisner, livro escrito por Cat Ironwood e publicado em 1982, consolida seu status como inovador dos quadrinhos. Mas quem poderia imaginar o quanto ainda viria pela frente?
Certainly in terms of impact, I'd say Contract with God was the most profound in opening my eyes, but I think my personal favorite is probably Life Force.
A Life Force, publicada primeiramente em capítulos no Will Eisner Quarterly, era uma demonstração de vitalidade de Eisner. A história começa com Jacó, entre a vida e a morte.
barata, para que se esforça? Talvez ficar viva mais alguns dias. Bem, para falar a verdade, também eu tento sobreviver. Você que é barata só quer viver. Para você é o que basta. Mas eu tenho que perguntar, por quê? Por quê? Quem sabe por quê? Deus?
This medium is a literary form, and its quality will depend on the kind of subject matter I attempt to discuss. I began to explore the idea of dealing with subjects that normally had not been dealt with in the past.
A força vital de Eisner encontra redenção no trabalho, como no caso dos sócios Jacó e Ângelo e sua madeireira. O livro influenciou muitos artistas, como Robert Crumb. Num cartão enviado ao editor Dennis Kitchen, o guru do Village Voice afirma que o livro é uma obra-prima que lhe deu alento para continuar a trabalhar e completa.
Um grande trabalho. Um dos melhores quadrinhos que li em muito tempo. Um tipo de obra-prima.
Os quadrinhos, no entanto, ainda lutam por um lugar entre os meios de expressão artística considerados válidos.
I'm not quite sure we've arrived at a point where the Academy and many critics have accepted either the comic book, the graphic novel, or comic strips as an art form. But there are a lot of signs that we're making genuine progress. Museum exhibitions, many books being studied, published, and written about the comics as an art form.
O prêmio Pulitzer concedido a Art Spiegelman em 1992 pelo seu trabalho em Maus foi um sinal de que o status dos quadrinhos pode vir a conhecer dias melhores.
There's a wall to a castle, a citadel, and we're all trying to climb up that citadel. Spiegelman made it, and I'm waiting for him to throw the rope back so we can come up.
For there to be a future for comics, it's necessary to find that serious audience that might be out there reading words without pictures, going to serious films when they come along. And yet, there's a kind of danger only in that comics' strongest energies probably come from their transgressive qualities, from their outsider status, from their graffiti roots. And that kind of edginess is part of what I treasure about comics. And the danger of talking about comics as a serious art form, comics for adults, is that it lose that and attain a kind of domesticated respectability.
Nascido e criado em Nova York, Will resistiu muito à mudança para a Flórida. A distância da metrópole ampliou ainda mais a importância da Big Apple no trabalho de Will.
The move to Florida was completely my idea. We needed lots more sunshine, lots more physical exercise, and more opportunities to live in a climate and atmosphere that would take a lot of the physical stress out of living.
Moving from New York to Florida was very hard for me to do at the time. I didn't really want to come down here. New York is still inside me. For 8 years I commuted from Florida to New York to teach. I used to say that I went to New York to get a carbon monoxide fix. I have a good visual recall. The way some people have a good numerical recall and remember numbers, I remember images very clearly. And so, very often, most of my books, backgrounds, are done from memory. I did a story about the man moving to Florida in it was called Sunset in Sunshine City. And the story opens with this man about to leave the city to move to Florida to retire. And he passes a lamppost, and he remembers the lamppost, some things that happened around the lamppost, and the fire hydrants and so forth and so on. These are the memories that I feel are built within the city area, and this is what I tell my stories about. For me, cities are a big drama, big theater, and there's a never-ending supply of stories.
Em 1986, Will lança The Dreamer, sobre os primórdios da indústria de quadrinhos e seus pioneiros.
It seems like every time there's a new book, Will asks what we might do that's a little different. And sometimes he wants to reduce the book like The Dreamer. Sometimes he wants it larger. And I think this is simply another example of someone who is always trying to get the reader's attention.